Good morning, and welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. My name is Kim. I've got hair sticking up. What a way to start. My name is Kim, and I'm your host. Um, I'd like to welcome everybody. Today is May 18th. This will probably be going out on the 19th. And I would just like to say hi, and I love you guys. I would like to welcome any of you new viewers who happen to pawn this podcast. I hope you like what you see, and I hope you come back for more. And all of my regular viewers, love you guys, and I want to welcome each one of you back. You can find me on Ravelry under Napier's Knits, or the group one. The group name is Naturally Kim's Knitting. You can also find me on Twitter at KSNapier475. Instagram, I'm knittin_Kim. And on YouTube, you can find me under Naturally Kim's Knitting. WordPress and Blogger, same thing. And I now have a Facebook group, which is also under Naturally Kim's Knitting. I would love to have you guys sign in. On the Ravelry page especially. Introduce yourself. Tell me where you're from. If you do that, I'll give you a shout out on the next episode, and you'll be eligible to participate in drawings and things like that. In fact, when I get my first 10 members, I don't have it over here. Just a second, I'll get it. Sorry about that. When I get 10 members that have signed in on Ravelry, I'm going to be drawing for this lovely, lovely yarn. This is some that I hand dyed myself. Isn't that beautiful? Which is something I'm starting to get more and more into. It'll be a while before I'm at the level where I can sell it, but I am looking forward to that day. I just want to keep practicing right now. And this is lovely yarn. I thought about keeping it for myself, but as you can tell by my stash, I've got plenty of yarn to work with. So, so for right now, I think I'm just fine. Also, if you need to email me for any questions, comments, or whatever, you can also find that under Naturally Kim's Knitting at gmail.com. Okay? With all that in mind, I think we are going to go ahead and start the program. Okay, this segment of the show is called On the Needles. And I call it that because these are the projects I'm currently working on. You can see here, this is not my size, obviously, but this is the Risu Katabira kimono from Knit Kimono 2, that book. I've been working hard on it. I had to rip it all out and restart it because I was not knitting with the same needles that I did my little swatch with. So anyways, it's not sewn together yet, as you can tell. I'm getting ready to do that today. I just got the sleeves sewn up yesterday. So when those go on, ta-da! It will be a nice little kimono for my daughter. And I hopefully will have this done in time to take out to her when I go out on June 8th. Yay! Yay! So that's the Risu Katabira knit kimono from the Knit Kimono 2 book. And I did that out of Bernat Cottonish in the Seersucker colorway on US 9 24-inch circular, which is 5.5 millimeter, and US 7 4.5 millimeter circular needles for the edging. And it's turned out so beautiful. And I have enough yarn left. I think I'm going to make something possibly for myself out of the same book. Okay, the next thing that I have on my needles, I finished this sock, a couple weeks ago. And this is from Gail's Art Sock Blanks. This one was called April Showers, and I just made a nice long sock. I just really wanted one. And I used up almost all. I mean, I only had a little bit left to make after I made this. And last week I mentioned how I have been working on a super secret project for Java Pearls design. And since I finished that yesterday, I went ahead and I cast on the toe, and I'm getting close to being ready for the heel. I probably have 6 or 7 more rows before I'm ready for the heel. And that's to be this one's mate. So, yay. And that's just on a Cece's French Vanilla Cappuccino sock out of her Coffee with Cece pattern book in my nice sunflower bag. Then next, this is I have great news. My mother's shawl, the Isla Jean shawl, has just gone up for pattern testing on Ravelry, free pattern testing. So if any of you out there are a part of Ravelry and you would like to do some pattern testing, look under the Isla Jean shawl under the free pattern test group and sign up. I would love to. I need about 4 people to pattern test that because I want to make sure that it's just right. And you have until July 15th to get it finished, and you shouldn't need all that time. So once it's ready, then I'm going to post that up for sale in honor of my mother. Anyways, to go along with Super Secret, since I finished that, I've decided to start my next project, which is in honor of a relative, but you cannot see the pattern. It is a sock. I ought to see what it's made out of. It's made out of a Knit-Pick stroll tweed in the oyster heather. And it's going to be in honor of my Uncle George. He is my oldest. He was the oldest brother of my father. And sweet man, sweet man. And I'm hoping that this pattern will do justice to him. He was such a sweetie. Anyways, then excuse me. I am still working on the 10-stitch blanket. Sorry, by Frankie's Knitted Stuff, but I still haven't had a chance to work on it lately. I'm hoping once I get the kimono done that I can pick it up and I can bring something out of hibernation. So, but I also, as always, I always work on my little top-down chemo caps, child's chemo caps from Napier's Knits child's chemo cap design. Sorry, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. I love this. This is Get Your Knee On. That's what it is. This is what I had left, and I have just enough there for a hat. So I'm doing one more hat out of it. And I'm just loving it. Oh, these are size 6 needles. I don't know. Do I know what the equivalent is? 4.5 millimeters. So anyways, I love these hats. And I did finish 2 this week. I have something else on the needles, but it's not working out the way I wanted it to. I love to do things for my grandkids, and only for them would I make stuffed animals. Well, Knit Picks had this cutest pattern book, and they have different animals in there, and I'll have to link this in the show notes. I hadn't done this yet, but it is so cute. And I made my kids farm animals last year, and oh my goodness, they just love it. And in fact, I made a little chick, and my granddaughter, whatever my grandson is, a little fussy, she goes and she gets bok to give him. That's what she calls the little chick, bok. So I love it. I love that she still plays with them. So since she does, I'm going to start making Diplodocus. I did start making it, but I thought I would improvise. I don't have the right size double pointed needles, and so I thought, okay, let's try to do this on circular. And there comes a point where you cannot do it on circulars. You do need the double pointed needles. Sorry, my eye itches. Haven't even been outside yet today. I shouldn't have allergies. But I'm going to make the smallest one. Not in that color, but in a different color. And then when I come back from California, I'm going to order the yarn and everything for the other 2. But I'm probably going to have to order all the needles too, because it's not going to work without double pointed. I should have known better. But I'll show you some of the other patterns in this book. So you have the Diplodocus, which is just so adorable. I mean, you work the shaping in short rows. But isn't that cute? And then I love this. It's called One Fish, Two Fish, Three Fish. There's 3 fish, each one smaller than the previous one, and they fit right inside each other. I'm looking forward to making that. There is color work involved, which I said I was going to do color work this year, so I guess this will be my opportunity. Then there's Pippin the raccoon. So cute. So cute. This will be fun to do. Then, human beans. Human beans. I know they're not animals, but they're still cute. And, oh, forest fawn. I thought that'd be nice. We have deer around us, and I thought it'd be cute. It's something I know she doesn't, I say I know she doesn't have it, and she might have. Then they have Skinny Cat. I'm sorry, I'm a Friends fan. And so when I see Skinny Cat, I start singing, Smelly Cat, Smelly Cat. Anyways, then there's Calopius Sloth. Look at those arms. That will probably take me a little while to make, especially all 3 of them. Look at them spread out there. This is going to be so much fun. Oh, I forgot. And there's woodland owls. So, and I love owls, so that'll be good. So, anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be working my way through that book little by little. It'll just take me a little while to get through all of them, but I'm going to have to put the Diplodocus aside until I get double-pointed needles. I had thought my days of trying to work with double-pointeds were over because I've never enjoyed working with them, but I guess not. I'll do anything for my grandchildren, basically. So this is one of the things. Oh, I was going to mention something I haven't cast on yet, but I'm going to. The Sampler Girl was having a mystery knit-along called On the Moors with Jane Eyre. And I signed up for the pattern and everything, but I hadn't had an opportunity to start it yet. And I am going to start it this week. So, well, actually, I'm probably going to start it later today, especially since I can't work on the Diplodocus. So I'll probably start on that before I go out. I don't know if I'll finish it before I get to California, but oh well. Because I just can't seem to have enough projects going. So, just when I finish one sock, I think, okay, well, we'll just cast on another sock. And then I see something else. It's like, oh, let's cast on that. And I do get to work on almost everything in a day. It's just that I could get so much more done quickly if I didn't sign up, or I didn't start so many. Anyway, so that is what's on my needles. Now, in just a second, I'll talk about what I have finished. Welcome back, or as my husband mentioned to me before, they aren't going anywhere, you are. So, hello again. This is the part of the show where I like to talk about what I have finished in the past week. As far as the chemo caps go, I've done pretty good this week. I was able to finish two different sizes. This one's a little bit smaller. Sorry, me and my cameras, you know. I get confused. And then this one. And these were both out of the, I want to get the yarn name and everything right. These are both out of the Knit Picks Chroma worsted colorway in the confetti. And I do these on US 6, which is 4.5 millimeter. Just a little plug, I guess, here. I do want to remind everybody I am an affiliate with Knit Picks. So if you want to purchase something from them, if you could come through like my blog or something and then go ahead and make your purchase, I get credit. And I'm hoping to get like a clip-on mic. That's my first goal, is to get a clip-on mic that so that I realize that my sound isn't always where I want it to be, but that's because I'm using the mic of the computer. So one of the first things I'm going to do is that I'm also an affiliate with Amazon. Same kind of deal. If you want to purchase something, go through my blog and click one of the links and then purchase something. I'll get credit. And all that credit is going to go to prizes, help to make my podcast better, and things like that. Another thing that I finished this week, I'm so tickled with, except I don't always, if socks are for me, I don't always weave in the ends. However, these aren't for me, so I really should have. So I need to do that today. But these are Cece's Peppermint Mocha Socks, and these were from Coffee with Cece. I love to plug her book. I need to let her know I'm doing this. Coffee with Cece. You can also buy this pattern on Java Pearl's Designs. I have to think what it was. I always call her Cece. On Java Pearl's Designs, the individual patterns you can get. But this is Peppermint Mocha. You can just see the stripes. Sorry, going the wrong way. The stripes are kind of like peppermint stick stripes. Anyways, I love it. This is made from Knit Pick Stroll Tweed. The colorway is Thirst Heather. And I made these on US 1, which is 2.25 millimeters. Lovely. And these are going to go to either the Men's Rescue Mission or the Soup Kitchen. Haven't decided for sure yet, but I do love those. Anyways, I'll have to let Cece know I plugged her book. That is it for my finished objects. This is a very short segment. I'll be right back in just a minute with the things I've done this week or things that have happened this week that have really made me happy. Okay. And I'm back. There, that's a little bit better. Things this week that have made me happy. Oh my goodness. I have to always mention working in the garden. We've had a rainy few days. The sun is beautiful today. It could end up being like last week. When I podcast, it was beautiful. Then it seemed like as soon as I was done, it started raining again. But if the weather holds up, I might actually go out and do some weeding today. I love that. The only thing I don't like, as you can tell, my nose itches. We have wheat fields on two sides of our house this year. And when they grow wheat or they grow corn, I have grass allergies. And so when the grass is mowed or when they grow wheat or when they grow corn, my nose just starts itching, my eyes start watering. So when I go out to garden, it's not always the easiest thing for me because I come back in and I can't talk by the evening time. So, but, you know, sometimes I sit there and go, but you love gardening. So anyway, so that's one of the things that made me happy. Oh, I need to mention something that's really tickled me. I have a freelance job. I research schools and then I type up little things for a company so that they can advertise their tutoring through flyers and things through each of these schools. Well, I was working on that yesterday, and all at once my Skype thing started ringing. And there's only one person that Skypes me. Well, okay, one family that Skypes me, and that would be my daughter in California. But I knew that it wouldn't be her. It was my granddaughter. Bless her heart. Her daddy is gone right now, and he wanted to Skype them yesterday morning, and she wouldn't talk to Daddy. She wanted to talk to Grandmom. So they Skyped me, and I can never say no. When they call me or they Skype me, I cannot say no. The only time is when I'm downloading or uploading my podcast because my computer just can't handle those two things at once. So that just made me smile the rest of the day. It didn't matter that I didn't have a voice last night or whatever. I was tickled. The other thing, I have finished 60 days with the whole 30, so actually I've done whole 60. And I have lost 8 pounds in the last 2 months. I am tickled. This is the way I want to lose it, very gradually. A pound a week, perfect, because you're less likely to gain it back that way. I did laugh because my 30 days ended on Saturday, And Sunday was our church picnic. Well, our church had its 100th anniversary. They've been in this town for 100 years. And their anniversary was Sunday. And it was cold and blustery. But they still had the food out in the tent. And I'm going down the line. And I picked up a sandwich. It was pulled pork. And I thought, well, I won't eat the bread because I can't have the grains. But I could probably eat the pork. Passed up potato salad because it has things in it I can't eat. Passed up the macaroni salad, can't have the pasta. Came down to the fruit, and they always have potato chips. Can't have those. I went down to the fruit, and I just put a couple spoonsful of fruit on my plate because I knew, the meat from the sandwich and that might be all I'd be eating. So I get back to the table, and I look at the sandwich, and it had a sauce on it, and it was a pre-made sauce, which means that it probably had sugar in it. So, couldn't have that. So I'm sitting there eating my fruit. It was frozen fruit that hadn't been thawed yet, so it was very cold in the tent, and I'm eating frozen fruit. Luckily, my husband did get something for me to eat before we came home. So our church's 100th anniversary did make me very happy. I got to see pastors that been in the church, well, except for one. The very first one passed away. But other than that, I think every other minister was either there or they videotaped a response. And so it was so neat. It was so wonderful. Our church was just packed with people. And then afterwards they had, since it was so blowy and blustery outside, they had bouncy things for the kids, and they put those in where our sanctuary generally is. So it was a fun day all around, but it was just great seeing all these people that, they've moved away and they came back from out of state or whatever. We had we actually had two of our former music ministers who performed. And one of them, he has the voice of an angel, and he sang a solo, and it was just so wonderful. So anyways, I started talking about my whole 30, but the church's anniversary also made me really happy this week. But anyway, so I am still on the whole 30, only this is going on. I'll be doing the whole 60, 75, because when I go out to California, I am going to take a break from it. I will pause this just a moment. Sorry, the garbage man went by, and my dog, his part Jack Russell, always has to announce their presence, and she's still going to be woofing quietly for a little bit yet, but I can't do anything about that really. So anyways, when I go out to California, I'm not going to be on my diet. It's just to make life a lot easier. I will be getting a lot more exercise because I'll be playing with my grandkids. But I won't be. I'll be starting it back up when I come back. But yeah, I won't be on it out there. It just makes it easier shopping and everything that way. Let's see. I think that's all for what has been making me happy this week. There's always lots of things that make me happy, but these are things that just made me smile the whole rest of the day. So, okay, I'll be back in a minute with what I've been reading, watching, and listening to. I'm back. I just started taping and talking away and didn't even realize I forgot to turn the camera on. Okay, so this is the part of the show where I like to talk about what I've been reading and watching and listening to in the past week. And as anybody who's been watching my podcast knows, when I garden, I put on audio books by Audible, and I've been listening to The Hobbit this summer. Well, I'm like 2 hours to go in The Hobbit, so I went ahead and I downloaded the first of the Lord of the Rings book, The Fellowship of the Rings, and so I'm just going to continue on with that with my gardening after I finish the Hobbit. But yeah, so I've done pretty well with it. I just have a little bit more to listen to, and it's the exciting part. So I have to make sure my dog doesn't interrupt it with a lot of barking while I'm gardening. She does like to do that a little bit. So anyways, that's the audio book I've been listening to. Then, I was so blessed. probably 2 weeks ago, I put a review out for a child's book, and the publisher got hold of me and told me he asked me what kind of books I love to read, and I said, oh, almost any child's book. I like anthology, historical, things like that. And so he sent me a number of children's picture books and an anthology. So he sent me, I've reviewed this. If anybody wants to look for my reviews, if you do a search for reading, writing, and so much more, it should take you to my blogger post, and that's where I put my book reviews. But I did review this one, The Woman Who Flummoxed the Fairies. It was such a cute book, and it has Scottish foundations to it. So it is so, so cute. And then we have A Natural Man, the true story of John Henry. And these can all be found on Amazon. I haven't reviewed this one yet. It's going to be reviewed tomorrow, as is The Pig Who Went Home on Sunday. This is an Appalachian folktale. So I'm going to be reviewing both those tomorrow. Then the anthology he sent me is called 1492, New World Tales. It's multicultural stories from the age of exploration. It's wonderful. None of the stories in it are long. So if somebody has a child that can get by without a lot of pictures, because there are a few hand-drawn pictures, but nothing really spectacular. But with the size of it, young readers, middle school readers, adults would love this book. I've started it. I'm really enjoying it. It's excellent. But you have to look under 1492, New World Tales. It's great. And then, from blogging for books last week, I'm going to be reviewing this one tomorrow, too. I haven't really made the recipes in it, because I have to really leaf through and see what I can and can't have. But this is called Food with Friends. And it's the art of simple gatherings. So if you have potlucks or parties that you need to cook for, this is a good book to refer to. Sorry, I was looking for table of contents. They have breakfasts and brunches, tea time, happy hour, potlucks and picnics, desserts, and tiny takeaways. And, oh my goodness, they have vegan recipes in here. They have, lots and lots of things. And the pictures. Look at those beautiful pictures. Oh. Let me see. There's a masala corn. Can't have that. Kale slaw. I'd have to leave the, that went kind of dull on me. With, I couldn't have the breadcrumbs or the ricotta, but I could have the lemon on it. And there's some other things. Oh my goodness, a blueberry galette. I like making galettes, but I can't for a while. Not till I get down some more. Like I said, I'll have to go through this and see what I can and can't have with my diet, but it has some good recipes for parties and get-togethers. Excuse me, I need to get a drink of water. As far as what I've been watching, I'm still watching Downton Abbey, season 5. Downton Abbey is just so exciting. My husband and I, he's never seen Downton Abbey. So on Friday nights we have date night. So starting either this week or next week, he's going to start with episode 1, and he is going to watch Downton Abbey with me. So this is something we're going to be giving up our satellite before long. And so we have Prime, Amazon Prime, but I'm also going to, I told him, I said, well, as long as we're saving money, I said, why don't we get Netflix too? And we will be. So we're going to do Netflix and Prime, and we can watch movies together that way. And it'll still cost a lot less than our satellite. I'll still have internet, of course, because I couldn't live without the internet. That's how I make my money, and that's how I do my podcasts. But we were just talking about it. So we have so many videos that we don't watch. I said, why don't we get a working DVD player, not VCR, DVD player, because ours doesn't work real well. And we can watch those on the big TV too. So I think he's agreeing with me. I don't think he ever thought I'd say this, because when I knit or whatever, I'm usually watching something on TV or I'm reading a book. Well, I've been watching podcasts, and I have been watching TV also, but I could easily watch things on Prime and Netflix and be very happy. So but I've watched, I'm almost through season 5 of Downton Abbey. And then I've been watching The Dyer's Notebook. She is so inspiring. If anybody ever thought that they might possibly be interested in dyeing their own yarn or fleeces or whatever, you should watch this. She is very inspiring. Then, of course, I've watched my old friends, Geeky Girls Knits, because they're fun. They're fun to watch. And if you want to be up on TV shows, they have a whole section of TV shows and movies that they've watched that they keep on there. I have been reading some things, but nothing that I really, besides my children's books, but nothing I really am ready to review yet. A couple of them, not really been thrilled with. I can't even remember what else I put on my blog. If you want to see what I've been reading, you can always go to Reading, Writing, and So Much More, and that's where I usually put my book reviews. So, anyways, I think that's about it for this section. I'll be right back with announcements or whatever else. Okay, I'm back. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, well, I'll tell you in just a second. Once again, I would like to ask if anybody would like to test pattern test, the Isla Jean shawl, which is what my mother's shawl is called. Just go ahead and go onto Ravelry under free pattern test, and that group, and the shawl is under there, or you can contact me, and I will be glad to let you pattern test it. Once it's up, and once it's been done pattern testing, I will then make it available on Ravelry for free for like 2 or 3 days, but then I will charge, okay? 2 or 3 days after podcast comes out. Okay, and if you are interested in sponsoring my podcast at all, I do have a link on to Patreon. I do have an account with Patreon where you could subscribe for $1 to $5. I think I might have gone up to $10 a month. That will all go towards the podcasts. Or if you want to give one time, feel free to go to my Naturally Kim's Knitting blogger account, and there's a little PayPal button, and you can give just one time. Like I said, all this is going to go to help make this a better and better podcast. So where can you find me? Well, you can find me on Ravelry under Napier's Knits, and the group's name is Naturally Kim's Knitting. On Twitter, I'm at KSNapier475. Instagram, I'm knittin_Kim. YouTube, you can find YouTube, WordPress, Blogger, Facebook, you can find me as Naturally Kim's Knitting. And like I said, I also have a Gmail account with Naturally Kim's Knitting. Any questions, any concerns, any comments, feel free to post any of those places. I'll make sure to get back with you. I think that's it for this week. I hope everybody has a super week. Great success with your knitting. And I love you all. And big hugs. Bye-bye.